A to AB is the raw data. A to AC is the raw data given from 3PL.
Okay, sanitize. Sanitize data. Okay. All right.
Then DO, this three, AD to AF is the one that I will key in.
Okay.
Then this will be the formula. Okay, this one I have a rate to let me calculate, allow me to calculate the cost.
Okay.
Then this one is the formula for the number of trips, number of DO per trip.
Okay, explain that number of deals per trip. That meaning that this one line is one trip.
For yes, one trip. Then for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same different DO, same date, different DO. They send, so what they send to the location. Then you'll be counted as
one.
Okay, this one, sorry, this is self-collection. So self-collection, there won't be any cost allocated.
Okay.
Then the next one. So number of DOs per trip.
Yeah.
I only do the cost allocation for this amount. Same company, same date and the van. Yeah, same trip.
Okay.
So what I did, this one, if let's say P4, which is self-collect, if it's yes, then you will go to self-collection. If it's no, then you go to normal.
Okay. See the 50 again. So this one is AD14 is AD14 equals to 1, AF14 equals to normal, and then $O14 is O14? Okay, Q14 is van, then rate is C11, which is $50. If not, it is truck, that's $100. Is that right? Okay. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 is created based on let me see, C column C. So count C column. When you go to column C, what do you count? You count the dates, right? Count the date. If the date is equals to C14, if C3 to C14 is C14, and if H AM PM is PM, AM, okay, in this case for row 14 is AM, Q3 to Q4 is van, and this is normal. So this is how you figure out whether it's a one trip or how many trip.
The count, then the formula you will count 50, that means like one same delivery, but maybe 5 different DOs or items, then you will consider as one.
Okay, there's only one truck or one van.
One truck. You mean the 3PL?
Yeah. It means so long as the same is considered one truck. You pay for that. It's like as if you pay $100 for the whole day delivery. Or one session delivery.
We pay a package deal, but this one is the cost allocation to the business unit, so that maybe 100K per month, Then with this, then I'll do the percentage.
No, because you calculate the delivery is based on the rule of your count. It means that so long as it's on the same day, PM, same van, normal delivery is $50, which means that anything that happens during that half a day is $50.
Or to the company. One trip, percentage, one trip.
Consider one trip, which is like you, in a way, actually the other way I will interpret is half a day you pay $50 or $100 for regardless number of trips.
不对，因为一个 van 就是可以去 multiple locations 嘛。
对啊。
But to that means from as long as deliver to customer A, then it will be $50. Counted as like to one customer.
Yeah.
So the other customer,
Second customer.
So
within that whole half afternoon, right? So one afternoon is $50.
So
one afternoon is to one customer is $50.
Okay.
If that afternoon, right, the
different companies,
you will
then
still
will
charge
be
another
50.
But then here you never indicate whether they are customers.
That one is the same company.
Same
customer.
Yeah, but in your count, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't indicate anything on customer. Do you say AA? The count? In the count, your number one in AD 14. AD 14. Your count, does it include?
Because of AA.
Okay, then can. Okay, what should we do here? I will show you a very fundamental Power Query that used within the same file. Okay, rightfully I will use actually a file to get data from an Excel file. For this one, just to show you the effect, how it should be done. Cannot.
But actually after this, I mean this raw data will go to this pivot table to show me how many DOs for the month for this department ABCD, how many belongs to normal delivery or self-collection.
Okay. This one later.
And the volume.
Let's calculate the DO thing first. Okay. Now, so go to your okay, so this is the original raw, right? Okay, so in here, I will select the columns. Let's redo all this again very quickly. Out to AC and all the way to 230 rows. In fact, there's more than that. 460. Okay, so up to AC, this is the raw data. So in here, I will go to insert. Sorry, the table, is it? Enable editing. Okay, so I will select all the way to here up to AC, and I'll go to insert. Oh, your capture as table 1, that is good. So from this table 1, all right, I will go into data from the table or range, and this will put into my Power Query. Proof to you is very fast. Okay, so in here we can choose the column, and you say that we want the delivery date. So uncheck everything. I want delivery date. I want AM, PM. I want self-collect, yes or no, vehicle type, and last one would be the customer name. Is it customer name correct or customer address?
See, because I copy
duplicate and remove already.
Yeah.
Okay. So customer name, click OK. And these are the 5 columns that I chose. Okay. So from this 5 column itself, I will then do a grouping for all of them. And I will group by, and I'll do a count number of rows. Click OK. So once I compress this, you'll see a count, and this is the number of delivery. So much faster, right?
You have said earlier.
Yeah, I should have said earlier. Okay, anyway, I'll go to add column and I do a conditional column. So in the conditional column, I will then determine the delivery fee. So here I'll say delivery fees. And I say if the self-collect is equals to yes, then $0 add cross. If it is a van equals to van, then it is $50. Else it only have the other one, there's a truck, there's $100. So click OK. And the delivery fees will be counted for 1 trip. All right. Now, so from here, I can right click and I can duplicate the query here. And once I duplicate query, what I need is the department. I haven't merged yet. All right. We'll do the merge later. So I will reverse my steps because I do not want to group them anymore. Remove other columns. I will use the gear. I want to, for this query, I want to add in the department. So in the department here, and I click OK. So I can remove, I can do this. And department should have presented inside here. Okay, now let me do a merge. So I take delivery date, control, AM, PM, self-collect, vehicle type. Okay, then customer name. Okay, then from here, I will do add column, merge columns. And I'll call this connector. Click OK. So fast. Now, going back to table 1, okay, I'll do the same thing. Delivery date, AM, PM, self-collect, vehicle type, and customer name. Okay, so from here, I will do a merge columns. And let me call this connector 2. Okay, so click OK. So now this would be my connector between the two. So one has less column and the other one has more column. Now, so from table 1, you can do 2 ways. I can leave the 2 query as it is. So I can do merge query as new. Since mine is faster, I will create a 3rd query to combine them. So table 1 will be 1, and table 1 bracket 2, the second one will be another one. And the merge will be connector matching the connector here. And you say 230 rows out of 230 rows. So fast, right? Okay, so click OK. It will come up with a new query called merge 1. Now, in the new query merge 1, you will see that, let's say these 2 rows, okay, they have a count delivery. So let's say this is 14 rows here, right? This is row 15. Okay, now it says table here. So what I want to do over here is I want to put in the department. The cost is already been calculated. Okay, so click here, and these are the merged item from table 1 bracket 2. Now I don't need all these duplicate. All I need is to put the department in. Okay, so I click OK. Now, what it does is it say A, B, C, G, H, I. So if I have five rows, what happened is they will match every department inside here to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is from the same department. Okay. Now you notice that the trips and the cost also gets duplicated. 230 rows, right? So now if I go all the way down, it should have 400 plus rows, the original 460 rows, I think, 457 rows. So what it does is it calculate, then it split, and then you duplicate all the rows in table 1 based on the department. There you go. Okay. Now, final part here is the cost will be split equally. So I can simply say that now all these are duplicated. I can take 50 divided by 5. That will be the cost of delivery by department. Make sense? Okay. So I can go into add column here, do a custom column, and simply say this is actual delivery fees, or not so actual, but allocated delivery fees. Okay, and the actual delivery will be delivery fees divided by the count of DO. Okay, so when I click OK, calculated. So this one will split then by $7 over dollars, $100 divided by, let me close away this one, 14. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this will be the allocated delivery cost. Now from here, then I can go to home, close, and load to. I create a pivot table in a new worksheet and click OK. Lucky use my computer. This load will take a long time. Okay, so it says table 1 tab. So from here, you just need to do this is what we call the multiple table. So when we do the combine here, now you see how it turns out. So they have a merge 1, they table 1, there's a table 1 bracket 2. So all these become part of the Power Pivot query. Okay, but we only need to merge 1, and we can do the allocated cost fees here, and then we allocate by department, and this will be the total. Okay, this is a count. Right click, summarize values by. You cannot do count, partly because these are the things that you need to learn when you work on this, right? So in merge 1 here, one thing that we need to do is to define that column as a number. Then I can do a pivot table. So I'll go to the right. Okay, so these delivery fees here need to change the data type to decimal number. Okay, close and load. And then they will refresh this. So right click and show values as, and now I can do a summation. So this will be the allocated cost by department. Now, if you want to see the delivery, if you want to see it by delivery date, then you drag it down. Then this will be the delivery date. Okay, and then you go to tabular form. Then you can do a subtotal, and this will be the breakdown of the delivery fee. This way. Done. Okay, now how do you update the file? If let's say next month you come in, you should take this. Just go to the file here. Now you notice that you can actually ditch these 3 columns you don't need because everything is done in Power Query. So using the source file, make sure that you can delete away the rows. Next month you can delete away all these rows, replace with the new one, or you can add in below and let it accumulate, and you can see our delivery costs from April, then May, June, July, and can continue to add on. Okay, so in the end, you calculated this will be the delivery cost. If you want to see by customers, of course, you can. Now that everything is in, you can drop the customer name in, and you can see when you deliver to the customer. So the address here will break down by this. So this will be the report that you're looking at. That's Power Query. Now, the whole idea is you do it set up once. Next month, you either add on the data and let the Power Query continue to do the two query and then merge them together automatically, and you just reap the rewards of the new update. Okay, so the setting up is single source. Whereas if you do a calculation on the delivery fee, you either use the original is to use a COUNTIF, then after that you try to allocate, and then it becomes very painful, and then you need to make sure that they sort nicely. Whereas in Power Query, we split them into two versions, still using the same source of data, and they recalculate everything. So your data is you maintain only one worksheet. Yeah, so that will be the answer for you. Should be correct. Okay, and if you want to count, just in case if you think is it correct, you can do take a count of the delivery date. Okay, and you say there are two deliveries here. So you can do delivery $50, and you can check back your own answers. That will be for you to do. So these are all single delivery days. It's two delivery. Okay, but somehow the customer name says two delivery of $50. So if you actually has the DO number, do you have a DO? In the raw data. So the best way to prove DO number here. Okay, when we do the merge query, we do not have the DO number. So what we could do is, I can go back to the query to make it perfect. I go to table 2.1, we pull up the department. So now go to the remove other columns here. I will add in the DO number. Click OK. Okay, then it will update this, close and refresh. Okay, go to my table here. Go to the table here, go to pivot table. So instead of counting the delivery, okay, I will list down the DO. Okay, the DO number is not in the merge because DO number is not in the merge because I did not call it out. So let me go back to the merge again. So remember that I go to the expanded table, right? So in the expanded table, here, when we are at this step here, we expand the table and we add in the department. So now because I add in the DO number, I will add in here, and there will be one more column coming out in the merge. So you notice that I can go in and say, oh, I missed out this one, I put it in, but you need to know the sequence very well in order to know how to do. So you need a little bit of practice and skills before you can do a basic one. That's why 2 days. Okay, close. And now once I merge this in the pivot table, it updates. Okay, and in the merge one, I will be able to call the DO number down. And this will be the DO number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DO number. Same day. So wow, that's complicated. AM. There are a lot of match here. Same delivery date. I should be grouping them by customer name first. By date, by customer name. Oh, customer name should be department, customer name, delivery date, DO number. So this customer has 2 delivery at AM, okay? And this 2 is $25. So this should be correct. Okay, so pivot table allow you to do all the changes. That's why I like pivot table. But to do the pivot table correctly and do all the calculation in terms of the fields that you need to put in terms of what you want to arrange to see the different dimension, you notice I use more of the rows than the column because it goes into sequence, right? And then finally, you will see that the delivery allocated delivery fees will calculate nicely. So I use the values sparingly. Sometimes 1, 2. If you use Power Pivot, it can be a bit more clear. There will be a bit clarity, but your number of rows should be less. In terms of fields in the row box should be less. Then you can see more of the column part. Yeah, but this will be how it's allocated, and you see how fast it can go. If the whole sequence if the whole sequence is correct, 100% accurate. You don't have to worry, did I do my COUNTIFS correctly? Did I drag down that time? Did I forget to sort the customer name in order to arrange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, so those are the things that will allow you. In fact, after doing this, you can do this in Excel by doing remove duplicates, create one worksheet, then do a VLOOKUP to do the difference. But that will still be more painful than do Power Query because Power Query takes care of everything and it tracks the step by step. Okay, now if Boontik is not around, what happens? He can go for his holiday stress-free because nobody will call him. Just ask them to copy and paste and refresh. Okay, he comes back, how long does it take to update? His computer will take 1 minute. My computer will take 5 seconds. Okay, so these are the whole thing that why Power Query will be useful. And the logic only comes from the business unit. If you don't tell me the business rules and what you want to do, I will not be able to do. So figuring out the business rules are the more important one. At IT, nobody will be able to do it except the person who do it, or maybe the boss, or you need to know the first part is to figure out what are the things that you want to do first. Then you plan for it from the source file all the way to the output.